Space, the boundary of human achievement, the new frontier.
It's just a cough.
Yeah, right. And the Earth is flat.
Treat your cough seriously with Robitussin CF Max. Nothing lasts longer and treats more symptoms for your cough, cold, and flu. Robitussin, because it's never just a cough.
In a few moments, you will have an experience which will seem completely real. It will be the result of your subconscious fears transformed to your conscious awareness. Warning, this tape must not be played by government personnel. It can be extremely harmful and result in severe trauma. You have 5 seconds to terminate this tape. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's good to see you. I must go. I know I must go.
Hold him. Now you listen to me, you hillbilly punk who thinks the world's still round. I'm here to tell you it's not. It's flat.
Lexi, tell us something interesting.
Okay, the Earth is flat, and a witch stole his pants.
Flat Earth expert Mark Sargent thinks the moon landing was a hoax.
Technically, the moon itself is a hoax.
Right, but betting with Sportsbet's new iPhone app?
I could do this standing on my head.
Thanks, Gravity. Sportsbet's new iPhone app. It's foolproof.
I know how we're different. Do you believe the Earth is flat?
I know it's flat. I walk on it.
Holy
Do you think the Earth is flat, Snoop? What do you
It's a flat world after all.
Smoke weed every day.
Und jetzt der Verkehr. Vorsicht, liebe Autofahrer, auf der A3 Oberhausen Richtung Arnheim ist die linke Spur aufgrund eines UFO-Absturzes gesperrt.
Because I know it's
Oh shit. Sorry, I didn't give you any warning. At least we're on time.
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship, currently at war with mainstream science. Meanwhile, the Peanut Gallery is watching and enjoying his science fiction. The USA lands a probe on the moon. Really? 3 new moons discovered. Really? In and out of the solar system, and AI is truly more intelligent than Mark Sargent. No, that's a lie. Welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger in fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, that guy mentioned earlier, the creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show enclosed structure thousands of miles wide. Just Google Flat Earth Mark. If you can't find it, well, It's not very good at the internet. Currently, this show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern, and yes, Caroline, if it is not, I actually have to look. 27th of February in the year of the dragon 2024, then you are listening to a rerun. Quote of the day goes exactly like these 4 things. This first one's from Dennis because he wanted to clarify what I read last week. I'm not going to try to imitate Dennis. In the interest of accuracy, my library probably averages closer to 40 books per crate, which would actually make the total number of books approximately 3,000. Also, I didn't mention I also have about a dozen whiskey crates filled with books because I haven't recently had time to manufacture the other crates. Okay. Second one. This one's relevant to the title. Without a doubt, our equipment, meaning Odysseus, is on the surface of the moon and we are transmitting. Who said that? The Intuitive Machines co-founder, Tim Crane. Meanwhile, the commentators for Intuitive Machines said, and I quote, "Pics or it didn't happen." Yeah, couldn't let that one go. Those guys are never going to narrate anything ever again. And the last one is from somebody in the comments section that was listening to the Odysseus thing because you couldn't see anything. And the comment went something like this. And you want to know who we're dealing with? Our opposition? Here's how the quote goes. I love people who question official narratives. Are U.S. politics corrupt? Absolutely. Does the U.S. government lie? Every day. Are there any exceptions? Yes. NASA. It is one of the most transparent organizations in the world. They hide nothing. Yep.
Right.
Yeah. I'm buying that. My co-host, she's lovely. She's sassy, and she's one of the biggest flat earth rock stars ever. And she's rocking a flat earth pendant. Very, very nice. And looking, everything's sort of matching up. I love what's happening here. It's working, honey. Karen B from the channel. Karen B, which you're listening to right now if you're listening to it live. Hey, Karen.
Hey, Mark.
So yeah, it's Tuesday.
It is Tuesday.
We're doing this again. And this week actually wrote itself because the U.S. tried to land something on the moon. And we're going to talk about it. But before we do, hey, Karen, being the current queen of Flat Earth, it must be hard to find Flat Earth friends. Do you know an easy way to find cool people like yourself and solid info about our stationary, horizontal, level plane?
Yes, go to meetups. And also, Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app.
Indeed. It's the perfect gift for friends, family, and complete strangers. You just threw me there. Watch the featured video every day for 2 weeks and see what happens. It'll be the best $2.99 you've ever spent. Oh, so sleepy. And because it's 10 p.m. on the East Coast, it's time to say goodnight to one of our listeners, Paige. She just put on her Mr. Magoo pajamas, got a cup of cocoa with exactly 6 tiny marshmallows, and we'll probably listen to the playback in the morning. Good night, Paige. She's going to be back home, by the way, I think this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. If I heard that. Yeah, they're coming back. Their time in Mexico is coming to an end. Don't forget, you can find this program on BitChute and Brady on Rockfin and Rumble. YouTube is not the end of Flat Earth. It is just the beginning. Shout outs, obviously, to Flat Earther Stephen Carpenter, the Deftones. Support the Flat Earth cause and get the coolest hoodies ever. Go to the strong.family, won't you? Pick up some merch. Also, I got some packages in the mail. So, mailbag. Okay. First off, I want to thank, hopefully I can read this okay. This is a gift. So you guys saw me drumming early on my chopstick drumsticks, which were literally chopsticks that were turned into drumsticks. Those have been wrapped up with rubber bands. I'm going to be bringing those to the meetup in Utah, and I'm going to be giving these away. And believe it or not, I already know these are going to Dennis because he's
Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis is driving from Oregon with a truckload full of books, and he's stopping by. So you know what, Dennis, you get the chopstick drumsticks. But they have been replaced with, what company is this from? This is from Antner. I think you got these off Amazon. They're USB rechargeable full-size drumstick, which are also light sticks. And you see there, they're LED drumsticks. They're transparent plastic drumsticks, but you could actually use these for drums. I mean, they're pretty damn durable. And yeah, they light up, their motion sensor activated, and very, very cool. So thank you for those. Oh, I should probably read who they're from. Duh. They're from hoping these will add a little pizzazz to your Strange World intro. Love your show. Row from Robert, aka Trebor7.
Oh, Robert, Trevor Seven. He does, yeah, he does the telekinesis channel.
It's Trevor, that's how you pronounce it?
Well, it's Robert backwards, but yes.
I should. Wow.
But yeah, he's a cool guy. He's really nice. I'm gonna have him on my show. I need to schedule it. If you're listening, I'm gonna schedule it. I'm sorry, I've been sick the last few days, and I really kind of just didn't sit at my computer for like 2 days.
Nice. Also got my second package I got was from Corey M. Kell. It is his book, Sun and Earth Modern User Reference Guide, Determining Earth's True Surface Shape as Flat Using the Sun. So thank you, Corey. Appreciate that.
Very nice.
And then, of course, my friend Christian out in Vegas, he did not, remember, there were boxes I did not open last week. I did open them. I sent some of the Bigfoot memorabilia to Karen. She's got Bigfoot DVDs.
I got all kinds of Bigfoot stuff. You know what I really did? I didn't know that you had Bigfoot Band-Aids.
Oh yeah, Bigfoot Band-Aids.
Bigfoot Band-Aids. I was stoked about the Bigfoot Band-Aids.
I figured you'd like that. I used those to pack the DVDs in. And I actually liked that, but I wasn't going to keep it. Was the Bigfoot fridge magnet and that thing right there. And what is his name? What's his pose again?
That's Patty.
Patty.
It's her. That's the famous pose from Patty from the Patterson, and Patty is named after Patterson Gimlin because it was Patterson and Bob Gimlin. Bob, I forget the Patterson's first name, but Patterson and Gimlin were the two men who filmed it, saw her and filmed her. So that is called and she's nicknamed Patty.
Nice. Awesome. That is wonderful. Okay, so let me go through real quick. I've only got like 10 of them. Okay, DVDs. There was the Bigfoot license plate thing. That's really cool. I really dug that. Okay, so artificial intelligence from Steven Spielberg, actually way ahead of its time with Haley Joel Osment, Jude Law. Really, really cool. Thank you for that. Dark Secrets Inside Bohemian Grove by Alex Jones, of course, because Alex Jones snuck in there. Whether they let him in or not doesn't really matter. Loose Change Final Cut on DVD, one of the early works of 9/11. If you guys were ever curious, that was like one of the first 9/11 things that ever came out.
That movie woke a lot of people up.
It did. Absolutely. Because back in
a lot of people, that was the movie where they're like, I watched Loose Change.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a lot of people. It's like, yeah, Loose Change, man.
I actually never watched it.
Oh, you never did? It's pretty good. It's a pretty good compilation. And a lot of people use it for a basis of things. This one aged interestingly. Crocodile Hunter. Remember that guy?
Yes.
Yeah. And then again, if you're going to mess with dangerous wildlife, he messed with a stingray. It hit him. He went into shock and he drowned.
No, the thing stabbed him right in his heart.
Really?
Yeah. The spine stabbed him.
I didn't know it was a heart shot.
It went through his sternum, like into his heart.
Wow. That's bad. Another one was aged interestingly was Walmart, The High Cost of Low Prices, which was a take, when Walmart was burning through towns, wiping out small businesses.
Are they not doing it anymore?
The entire first 3 seasons of All in the Family with Archie Bunker, the politically edgy show from the 70s, which was interesting.
Yes.
Small world there because one of my best friends who graduated from me in high school, his name was Mike Bunker, and his dad was a World Series baseball player named Wally Bunker. Archie Bunker is actually named after him. They were going to name Archie Bunker Wally Bunker, and they changed it to Archie at the last minute. So there you go. And last but not least, how Dr. Seuss, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. That was DVDs. A couple other things. There's a whole bunch of keychains he sent. Most of them I donated to a local women's Bible study, but I did keep the Lord of the Rings Lurtz bookmark. Okay, Lurtz was the lead orc. I didn't know he had a name. The lead orc that killed Boromir. He actually had a name. It was called Lurtz, Lurtz. So I'm going to be giving that.
Did you ever read the books?
I did, but I didn't know the orc had a name. Didn't occur to me. Also,
in the books.
A guitar key
in the movie.
A guitar keychain, which I'll probably giving away. The soap. This is a Sasquatch base. It's called Squatch brand soap. which I've got like 5 bars of. I did not send those to Karen because I think pretty sure they're men's soaps. This one's Birchwood
Yeah.
Breeze.
You should use them. If you
I'm
just send
going
them
to.
me, I would just give it to Ted.
No, I'm totally using these. And last but not least, a straight razor, a nice straight razor set. Not a straight razor. This is a single blade razor set. If you guys can see this,
Yeah.
it's a very nice weighted stainless with a whole
That
bunch
is
of
a
blades.
nice razor. I'm
It is a
telling you,
nice razor.
that's old school.
Yeah,
Reminds me
it's
of
old
my
school.
grandpa.
Yeah, so it's never brand new in a set. So thank you for all that stuff. That's absolutely wonderful. And some of it, yes, I will be taking with me to the Utah meetup to give away to lucky people, and others I will keep. So there you go. All right, is there anything I missed? Yeah, we got to go to meetups. So meetups. Who's got the meetups? I do. So let's do these in order that they list, or well, reverse order on my channel. So March 20, you know what? We're going to start from the bottom. Screw that. Not that it's going to matter that much. Okay, March 2nd, Salt Lake City with me, Mark Sargent. If you guys are curious, please, by all means, you can email, I think was it utahfe@gmail.com.
Yeah. Wait. No. Yeah, utahfe@gmail.com. Yes.
Yeah, the
Does it have a
promo.
location or anything? Or is it still all the same, like, ambiguous stuff as it was before?
I'm not allowed. Well, they don't want troll. You know, you've got to email them directly, and they will give you.
Oh, they don't want to put it out publicly where it's at?
No, they will, because there's going to be quite a few people at this thing. Supposedly, there's going to be like 80, 100 people at this thing, so they don't want to invite. You know, they're not like they're screening people, but they want to collect email addresses and stuff like that. So anyway, there you go. But the promo is on my channel. You can email utahfe@gmail.com. They will give you all the details. Let's see, April 8th, New York. That is going to be the Eclipse one, if I'm not mistaken, with David Weiss and Zulu One and other people. You know, like Lowry. Those guys. Las Vegas, March 10th. That meetup is on my channel as well.
Yes.
And California, March 19th, the Flat Earth Equinox meetup. That meetup, or that promo is on my channel. And Chicago, March 20th.
With Renee again, or is that something else?
That's Renee's meetup. Yep, down probably near Huntington Beach.
Mm-hmm.
And Chicago, Illinois, March 23rd. That promo just went up on my channel, so check those out. Do you have any others besides those 5?
There is Flat Coast, Florida meetup this Saturday, March 9th. That's on the website. That's being hosted by Shelley Oler.
Right on.
That's it. And then there's also the weekly meetup that's happening every week in Cary, North Carolina, at the original venue of the first FEIC in Raleigh. So somebody's doing weekly meetups there. There you go.
All right. Well, do we have anything else that I can mention before we go to headlines? I don't think so. So, without further ado, let's get to the headlines. All right, the first one. So the title of the show, of course, is Not Good Enough. And I should have said Not Even Close, or Are You Kidding Me, or Seriously, or whatever. But the Americans tried to and say they have landed on the moon. So let's get to that first headline, shall we? So from CNN.com, let's start with the obvious, which is why it's so difficult. Again, if you have to start making excuses in mainstream for what you're not showing us, that's a bad sign. So in this case, it's from Space and Science on CNN, why it's so difficult to land on the moon, even 5 decades, not years, decades after Apollo. Again, making up all sorts of reasons of why everything's crashing, right? It's, in fact, would be the third thing that basically landed hard, supposedly on the moon. One from India, one from Japan, one from the United States, and with terrible, horrible results. So let's just get past that. This is a preface. Again, they're letting you know what to expect. Next one's from FoxWeather.com. Okay, ready? This again, this is what you expect. Lunar lander captures. They always do this. They're going to throw in an adjective. Stunning photos of Earth before the moon landing attempt. NASA says instruments and technology on board the Intuitive Machines lander will help pave the way for human missions to the moon. Really? When? Because you kicked it down the road now for 50 years. And this one's going to keep, this one didn't help you. Okay, so you scroll down. There's a couple videos. I think Karen will probably see that. The fisheye lens that they used for this particular mission, and they only had one camera from what I can tell, was so severe it made everything spherical, including the lander itself. It's the same sort of GoPro lens that you would see like—
Why did we choose safe flight?
Ah, sorry.
That's right. You would see like extreme mountain bikers and hikers use. You know, it's like they could show the whole bike. It's like, well, okay, why would you need it for something like this? By the way, love the shot, you know, back of the Earth, no stars. Okay, that's fine. Again, no stars in space ever, because you can't do it, because you won't. Then there's the Columbia. Remember, this thing is 14 feet tall, supposedly, right? And let's move on to the next one, which is regression. This is from CNBC.com. Intuitive Machines lands on the moon in historic first for a U.S. company. Okay. Named Odysseus after the mythological Greek hero, is the first U.S. spacecraft to soft land on the lunar surface since 1972. And they had to make sure, and, you know, Pina and I were talking about this earlier. It's like, whoa, what about Artemis? What about this? And it's like, no. This was a landing. Remember, the U.S. has never even landed, supposedly. They've never even made a claim of landing anything on the moon since 1972, which is a long time ago, right? I was young. I was super young. I wasn't even in first grade when
That's
this
50
thing—
years ago.
Yeah, 52 years ago.
52 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, it's a long time ago, right? And then you scroll down, there's the shot. We all know it, Karen, which is, oh, there's the shiny spacecraft in front of the low-res moon, which in no way looks like a composite at all, right?
Right.
They're 50 miles away. This is the same thing that happened with the Artemis, right? 50 miles away from the moon. Resolution is crap. No stars. And you're saying, well, it's an exposure. Oh, no. You can't use exposure settings anymore, kids. Oh, no. This isn't 1969. There's no film. It's all digital. There's no exposure settings. In fact, you should be able—
They say that's 50 miles away from the moon.
Yeah, give or take. Yeah.
You shouldn't be able to see the edge of the moon.
The curvature? I would agree
No.
with you. You're right. Even if the moon was only 2,000 miles wide, you shouldn't be able to see that sort of curvature. You're absolutely right, Karen.
Not when they're that close.
I know. It's bad. It's really, really bad. And you scroll down, there's some pictures of it. They had all wonderful shots of it in the studio. Like, there it is with the big American flag in the background. NASA, by the way, is taking most of the credit for this. Right? And then, of course, there's a video down below. Here's why the US, China, India, Japan, and others are rushing back to the moon. No, they're not. They're not doing anything. They're all saying they're going to the moon. There's nothing's happening. Nothing happening. The footage is absolute crap. All right, next one down. Let's go to BBC.com. BBC.com. If it pulls up, come on, you slow piece of crap. Intuitive Machines. The Odysseus moonlander tipped over on touchdown. What?
Oh, this is the guy who was playing with toys.
Yep, that's the guy that's playing with toys. Okay, this is how ridiculous it got. Not only, so that shot where you saw where it was on, you know, the moon's in the background there, that was the last shot they transmitted. There's no video. They only released like 4 frames of video to the public, and then, you know, something else to mainstream media, and then they had something else, but almost no streaming video, almost no footage at all. And then it supposedly lands and then just tips over once it gets down there. And he has this little toy Odysseus, which is being held up by, what the hell is that blue thing? A mini Odysseus? I think it is. And by the way,
the head is resting against a rock. So that toy that's misrepresentation.
That is misrepresentation. Oh, and it's holding at a 90-degree angle? Whatever. So the U.S. spacecraft, which made history on Thursday by becoming the first ever privately built and operated robot to complete a soft lunar touchdown, is otherwise in good condition. Really? Okay. The owners say that Odysseus has plenty of power and is communicating with Earth. And by the way, that's the only reason they even say it happened. They say, oh no, we got a transmission. We got a transmission that it made it. Do you have any video proof of this? Nope, we don't. So you're just saying that it landed, and you got no proof. I mean, all right, 2 things real quick. At least and we'll get to this. At least India, for example, showed us real-time supposed Atari graphics from this thing, right? When they were trying to land. It was horrible graphics. You know, it was graphics from 1995. But at least they said, oh, here it is in graphic representation touching down. And at least Japan bothered to fake it by producing one of the most perfect digital scruffy shots of their own lander. You know, this little rover thingy, little ball thing transmitted to that was transmitted back to Earth. Okay, sure, 250,000 miles away. I absolutely believe they had power to do that. But these guys gave us jack. And they're saying, oh, I mean, again, that's the Americans for you. Okay, so scroll down to that globe shot real quick. See, scroll down right there. You know what that shot is of that weird kind of gray sphere thing? You know what that is?
Gray sphere thing.
Okay, so you're in the BBC one. Scroll down until you see a shot that looks like a globe. It's spherical. Do you know what I'm looking at in the BBC?
Oh, where it's like a 360 camera.
Yeah, it's a 360 camera, supposedly just before touchdown. And then that's when they lost communication.
Right.
Yeah, I'm buying that. Not for a second. Okay, next one down. We won't, it's up to you if you want to show the YouTube video or if you want to put the link in chat, Karen, for people. But the YouTube video, the part that was embarrassing was when you get to about, what did I say, hour 16, was when they got to the point where they should have showed actual telemetry graphics. They just showed a continuous loop of a pre-recorded Odysseus, graphics landing, where it's just flying across the lunar terrain, and they just looped that over and over. It's like, what? It was horrible. Terrible production. Okay, moving down. Go to the next one down. Fox 4 News. But if you guys want the link, Karen can send it to you, or you can email me and I'll send it to you. Let's get off Odysseus for now. Just know that you can look it up if you want. Odysseus was an absolute soup sandwich. It was awful. Absolutely terrible. Okay, next one down. Texas County declares state of disaster ahead of April solar eclipse. Why would they do this? Because they think that 400,000 people are going to rush into their zone to watch the eclipse. I can tell you from personal experience, that's probably not going to happen, because I was in Oregon and they thought the same thing. And the governor was thinking about breaking out the National Guard, right? Remember, we were shooting behind the curve in that town. That's
Why do you think 400,000 people give a shit? I'm sorry,
exactly.
but there's not that many intelligent people. There's probably not even 400,000 people who are aware that the eclipse is going to happen on April 8th.
Absolutely right.
People don't care about what happens in the sky.
Nope, they don't. And on top of that, people are notoriously lazy. And so what happened was in Oregon, you had a whole bunch of people. It's like, oh, we'll just get up, I know what, we'll get up an hour before blah, 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 and drive. And yes, the highway got jammed up with, 10, 20,000 people. Could not move. And that was it. They missed the eclipse because they were stuck in traffic, and they just had to get off at the next exit and turn right back around and go home. So if you think that 400,000 people are going to surge into your town, you are high. And the big reason is, if you scroll down, I think we have that down. Here's the big reason. We'll list it off really quick. Is this eclipse is going to be covering so much ground that people are going to be spread. The people that do want to see it have plenty of chances. All right. So if you're curious, as Peanut says, yes. Okay, I'll rattle this off and then we'll go straight to break. Okay, it's going to hit Texas first. I'm not going to give you the times. I'm not going to list off all the towns in Texas, but it's going to go from Eagle Pass diagonally up through Texarkana. Then it's going to hit Oklahoma. And it's going to start in Idabel and it's going to end in Broken Bow. And it's going to go to Arkansas. It's going to go right through Little Rock. And it's going to end in Hot Springs. And it's going to go to Missouri. It's going to go Poplar Bluff. And then it's going to go to Cape Girardeau. It's going to go to Illinois. It's going to go through Carbondale, and then it's going to end in Mount Vernon. It's going to go to Kentucky. It's going to just go straight through Paducah. And it's going to go to Indiana, Evansville. It's going to end in Indianapolis. It's going to go to Ohio, from Cleveland to Bowling Green, Pennsylvania. It's going to be in Erie, New York. It's going to start in Buffalo. It's going to end in Plattsburgh. Vermont is going to go from Burlington to Winooski, New Hampshire, Lancaster, Maine. It's going to go from Caribou to Presque Isle, Maine, and that's it. And then it goes into Canada. So and I didn't list off a fifth of all the cities it's going to go through. There are plenty of states it's going to go through. Yeah, plenty of chances. So no, nobody. There's not going to be 400,000 people.
There's not going to be 400,000 people rushing to Texas.
No. So
No.
yeah, declaring your city a national disaster area before that even happens. It's not freaking Woodstock, man. Don't.
I feel like they're just trying to get money, because if you declare a national emergency, don't you get fed money?
Uh-huh.
Well, there you go.
So no, it's not going to happen. Okay.
So maybe Texas is trying to get the Fed to send them money for that, so they can actually use it to protect their border.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to go to break. When we come back, we are going to finish up the headlines. We got a few more. We're going to do Lucky and Lucky. We got 4 or 5 clown worlds. I will try to punch through them pretty fast. Karen the music.
All right.
There are some exciting new features on the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. Our new Profiles module allows you to create a personalized wall with as much or as little information as you like. Connect with other blue dots anywhere across our amazing Flat Earth plane. Share your favorite images, videos, and stories on your wall. Search for other blue dots by using keywords or by name. You never know who you might meet. Add friends to your Flat Earth circle. Keep track of your friend requests and invites from others in the Request tab. See what your friends are up to and interact with them. In the Edit section of your profile, scroll down to the Search Terms for Your Profile section and add in all of your hobbies and talents, so other blue dots can connect with you. From any group chat, long press on the comment to directly link to that user's profile. From a one-to-one chat, click the info button on the upper right to see your options. Invite them to be in your circle of friends. With the simple swipe to the left, you can now mute notifications for selected groups of your choosing. Our Images section has gotten a big upgrade. You can now use keyword searching to bring up all of the images that you're looking for. No more scrolling and hunting. We plan on adding thousands of more images as we get them from blue dots across the plane. If you are seeing this video, it's time to update your app and find your tribe.
Join me, Karen B, every moon day at
Every
9:30
moon day.
a.m. for Coffee Talk on YouTube, Rumble, and Rockfin. You never know what you'll learn about in the coffee shop. Open topic and open phones, y'all. Join me.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 2 of 4. It's you, me, the always lovely Karen B, sometimes Peanut. And yeah, you know what that was? Joe Jackson stepping out from his album.
Night and day.
There you go. All right. It's going. Trying to run a show here. Okay. Real quick, there was a last minute reminder for a meetup sent in. Surprise, surprise. Next meetup for Jesse will be Saturday, March 9th from 12 to 3 at Louis Grill and Bar, 6310 East 101st Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Please call Jesse at 781-857-9175 or email him at 300kmileprius@gmail.com. He will have a Nikon P1000 with him. The awe, the wonder of it all. Also, by the way, if you guys are, again, if you're coming to the Utah meetup, which I'm going to be flying out this Friday, and it'll be Saturday and Sunday morning, I'm giving the first, 50, 60 people away autographed cards from the Conspiracy Theory board game. I took some of the cards and I signed them on the front. They say Mark Sargent right there somewhere. Yeah, Mark Sargent. And yeah, giving those away. So come early and ask me questions. I don't know how long my presentation is going to be. Honestly, it's probably going to turn into a Q&A. But,
which cards did you pick? Specific cards to sign, like about certain topics, or
nope. I just grabbed the first 50 or 60 on the thing and just signed them all. So like this back one, it says, who infiltrated Bohemian Grove and released footage of the secret ceremonies? Was it A, Shane Dawson, B, Jacksepticeye, 3, Mr. Beast, or 4, Alex Jones?
It was Alex Jones.
Yes, it was. It was Alex
That's how I learned who Alex Jones was. That. That's the first thing I ever watched of Alex Jones.
Nice. Okay, where did we leave off? We were talking about space stuff. Who did we? Intuitive machines landing on the moon. Odysseus.
Did you see the latest infiltration of Bohemian Grove, by the way? Somebody else did it, and there's a couple of videos where the guy goes inside and he goes into some buildings and he goes inside the Moloch statue. Like there's a
nice.
place inside.
Nice.
I'll have to send it to you if you haven't watched it yet. It's actually, I mean, it's nothing crazy, but it just shows you like.
Send it to me. I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
I really would. Okay, we left off on, let's see, disaster. Yeah, the eclipse crap. So you got check out the eclipse. You guys want? dailystar.uk, if I'm not mistaken. That's where we left off, which was oh yeah, we'll just gloss over these pieces of crap. Elon Musk has a game plan to send 1 million people to Mars starting in 2029. Very convenient. This is boilerplate, which is, oh yeah, I'm going to make a claim for something. I'm not even going to start until 5 years from now. You're not even going to remember what's going to happen 6 months from now. So whatever. Yeah, Elon Musk. I should have that's
the can will get kicked down the road.
No, yeah, you're not doing anything. Yeah, 1 million people to Mars. Really? How are you going to solve the fuel problem?
Can't even send one person.
No,
anywhere.
What's this million crap? You can't even. Yeah, and yet we can radio control helicopter drones on Mars from here.
The sad thing is, though, there's people that believe this.
I know. Again, sheep. Absolute freaking sheep. Okay, next one down, BBC.com. We'll rip through these. Bridget Mendler, former Disney actor turned space startup CEO, is reaching for the stars. Yep, that's what you do. You do a space startup company, you get a pretty face as your spokesperson. That's how you get funding. Brilliant. And they will get funding. I guarantee it. They're not going to get anywhere. Good for you guys. Free money.
This is like par for the course for Disney.
Yeah.
Like none of us should be surprised that this is going on.
Nope. Not at all. Well done, Disney. Way to diversify, Disney. Next one down, CNN.com. Toyota, we're just going to rattle through some of these. It's just interesting things. Because, I don't like electric cars, and we'll talk about that. Toyota recalls 280,000 vehicles because they may creep forward in neutral. That is a downplay if I've ever heard it. So you put your car in neutral, and again, we'll just read the first paragraph. Because the engine may not disengage entirely when in neutral. Certain parts of the transmission may not immediately disengage when the vehicle is shifted to neutral. This can allow some engine power to continue passing through to the wheels. And as a result, it could inadvertently creep forward at a low speed when it's on a flat surface and no brakes are applied, leading to an increased risk of a crash. Really? Yeah. Again, wonderful downplay. Car's in neutral. You get out of the car. Car keeps going.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
pretty bad.
When you put it in neutral, car stopped. Engine, doesn't matter if the engine's or not. No gear. You're engaged. Yeah, you got to get on that, Toyota. Okay, next one down. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. How EVs became such a massive disappointment from CNN. Yeah.
I can tell you how it became a massive disappointment.
Yeah.
I'm curious what they say it is.
If
I know
you're
why.
If you're outside of Los Angeles, New York, or San Francisco, why did you buy an electric car? I need to know. So Tesla's been slashing prices, and Ford just cut the price of its Mustang electric. General Motors is thinking about bringing back plug-in hybrids. Yeah. Prius has made sense, had a little engine in it. All electric makes no sense. I got Prius. It was an ugly car that had massive gas mileage. I got that. EVs makes no sense to me. So, and by the way, they to be clear, the American market for EVs is not collapsing. Hell, it's not. It absolutely is collapsing. Mostly because, we'll just do the bullet points, high prices. EVs cost a lot of money. And what we've covered in this show before, if you damage that battery in any way, your car's totaled. And your insurance premiums are going to go up 30% right off the bat. You cannot get in a wreck at all with an EV car.
Nope.
Second, of course, charging stations. They do not have enough charging stations. They need, just to do the US, they need 180,000 fast chargers. You know how many they have? They have less than 40,000. They have 30,000 and change. A quarter of those are in California because that's where you roll out a new car program first. Oh, yeah. And the chargers, here, real quick, besides raw numbers, the chargers that are currently available tend to rate low with consumers in terms of reliability, meaning there's a lot of out-of-order chargers, the ones that are even out there, because they're not being maintained.
I saw a video of a bunch of chargers where all the cords were cut off.
Oh, my God.
I mean, think about it. That's a fast charger. There's got to be some valuable metals in those cords, right? So
Yeah.
people are cutting the cords off. So dumb.
And there's governors out there that in like if you're trying to go from Los Angeles to Vegas, yeah, you can pull it off. There's some chargers. You try to go from Los Angeles to St. Louis, nope, ain't happening because you're not going to have the chargers. And there's states like, why should we put in chargers? This whole thing's going away. And that's the rumor that's going out there. So all you guys at the bottom, again, if you're in California, great. Well, fantastic. Good for you. Go for it. Outside of California, you're not doing anything. Like Peanut said, try going through Oklahoma. Absolutely. Not happening. So next one down, we're almost done. We'll get to Lucky Unlucky. TMZ.com. The Trump basketball shoes will sway black voters. Why? Again, there's a wonderful shot of Trump holding the shoe, looking approvingly at it because of the big T and the gold there and the American flag. Or as Karen says, it's Homelander's basketball shoes. If Homelander played street ball, this is what he would wear.
Totally.
Yeah. Homelander joined the NBA. They are. They're Homelander shoes. Absolutely Homelander shoes. Yeah. Not racist in the slightest. Of course, you guys want to have fun. Look up Trump basketball shoes on eBay. Tell me what the highest price is currently selling for right now. It's 5 figures at this point. Easy.
Yeah, they're ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Next one down, dailymail.com. And this is the last one before we go to Lucky Unlucky. This is a transition story. Alarm over 200% explosion in young women and girls getting pancreatic cancer as top experts admit they are baffled by frightening rise of deadly disease. Wow. Great.
100%?
Yeah. Baffling. Again, that word has lost meaning for me. You're saying it so often, and I don't even know if you're being serious when you say it. Are the experts really baffled, or are they scared to death because they can't say what they know it is? They can't say it because they know it's going to be their career, their ass on the line.
Yeah.
There you go. That's a bad thing. If young girls
at this point, if you aren't admitting to what's happening and you are a healthcare professional, you're just a shitbag. Straight up. You're a shitbag.
And if you're not in the healthcare profession and you're still ready in this denial storm that's swirling around you, I don't know what I can do for you, because we're doing this every week, right? Now we get to lucky unlucky. Let's see how rare it really is, shall we? First one down. Love this one, and I don't mind. You know what? I'm loving this one. This guy, Vaxathon's call to action. His name is Efeso Collins, right? This story is from 2021. He was pushing hard, called it a Vaxathon, right? Pushing hard for the shot in the arms. I'm trying to be careful here. Let's go to the next story down. What happened to him? What?
This guy was in New Zealand. It says from Auckland.
Yeah, he was in New Zealand. Next story down, just happened. Efeso Collins dies suddenly at age 49. He's considered a great man.
Yes.
Emergency services rushed to treat the first-term MP after he collapsed. He was at a charity event for Child Fund in Auckland's Brito Mart when the incident occurred. And they say he died a great man doing something for the community. Uh-huh. Karma's a bitch. Next one down. Fox News. I don't care. Come at me.
Yeah. It's like people like this, who knows how many people that you sent to this fate by pushing that bullshit.
Yeah.
So many other people met that fate before you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this guy, again, karma, it takes a while with this particular thing. Kenneth Mitchell, Star Trek actor, dead at 49. Captain Marvel star was diagnosed with ALS in 2018. I'm sure it accelerated, became a turbo version. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis complications. So yeah, not much else to say there. Moving down, Fox News. I'm going to see if I can squeeze in the emails, Peanut, if I can. Once Upon a Time and Supernatural star Chris, how do you pronounce that? That's French, isn't it? Gauthier?
Yeah. I think it's Gaucher or something. That was really how it's pronounced.
Gauthier. Gauthier. Having a glass of Merlot when he died. I know, I'm so refined. He's dead at the age of 48. He had also he was basically all over the Sci-Fi Network. He was in Eureka, a series of unfortunate events, character actor. Yep. And let's see here. Passed away Friday morning. Yep, I recognize this guy. Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff. All right, next one down. Daily Mail. Lady Gabriella Windsor's financier husband, Thomas Kingston, died aged 45. King Charles and Queen Camilla are informed of death, and Prince and Princess Michael of Kent's son-in-law. So he was tied to the royals. And yeah, he died at the age of 45. Suddenly.
Queen Camilla.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I just find that the royal family is such a joke.
Yeah, they have not had a good pandemic's not been good to them. It has gone downhill ever since Harry's wedding, really. Next,
you said earlier, Mark, don't care.
Don't care. Yeah. Anyway, another royals going down. So some of the royals aren't exempt, apparently. So it is what it is. Also, remember what I said. A-listers, one thing. A-listers, extended family, not so much. Actor Gary Sinise's son, dead following battle with rare form of cancer. He died from chordoma, which originates in the spine. And
heard of that.
I know, right? I'd never heard of it either. He was diagnosed first in 2018, rare cancer, and I think it accelerated recently. And on January 5th, he was done. So sorry about that. I like Gary Sinise. I liked his work.
Yeah, well, he's looking old.
Yeah, well, he's not Lieutenant Dan anymore. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
Next one down, Fox News. Jose de Leon, Major League Baseball, veteran pitcher who led the NL in strikeouts in 1989, dead at 63. Unspecified health issues. There you go. You don't have to disclose if you don't want to. It'll go down as unknown, unspecified, or...
There's a lot of these that are unspecified.
Yeah. We're just not going to... Yeah. We're not going to tell you what it is.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. The family, it's like, nope, not going to even say.
Lies by omission.
Right. Next one down from the Gateway Pundit. Oh my God. Yeah, this one. So weird one. 17-year-old high school student dies at the hospital after he collapsed during a fishing tournament weigh-in. He was in Winsboro, Texas. He was doing a fishing tournament, on the beach, doing a weigh-in, just dropped. Got him to the hospital. I mean, he was dead before he got there. They couldn't revive him. So, yeah. Oof, that's rough. And again, what? At least, again.
I mean, you know, it happens. Perfectly healthy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you saw the picture of him. The kid was a freaking wire. You know, he's a fisherman.
Yeah, spends a lot of time outdoors, touching the dirt and getting sunshine. You know, that'll give you COVIDs.
Yeah, clean air. Well, the air is lava, Karen. Everybody knows this.
Air is lava.
That and well, I mean, seriously, you know, you remember that video? I was watching one of the videos. If things like a pocket of gravity can happen, you know, like that in that one ISS video, then, you know, a pocket of suddenly can just take you. All right, next one down. Daily Mail. Iraq war veteran in his late 30s claims the shot in the arm gave him condition that causes full body paralysis, which medical records updated to say it was a shot in the arm injury is caused after doctors tried to blame it on the flu. Yeah, of course they would. Of course they would, because the hospital's legally vulnerable. There's actionable things that can happen if the hospital admitted there was something there because they gave it to you. But they died, yeah, and it's like, oh, the flu caused full body paralysis, which is no way tied to, you know, Celine Dion's full body paralysis that happened not that long ago. Next one down.
Good for him for getting it changed.
Yeah, well, someone was. Yeah, I'd say that someone was going to pull that off. Again, it's the cracks are more than evident now.
I mean, how many people does this have to happen to before, you know, people just like, all right, it's like been like thousands of people now, maybe we should just admit it.
Denial is well, if you're pharma, you're not. The general public, you know, you get to sleep at night. We'll see. Again, I've got friends of the family that are ever since they got in the shot have been sick on a regular basis. They get sick way more often. Of course, that's what would happen. If there is an immune system thing that's happening there, anything that normally you could just shrug off, oh no, it hits you. And it hits you pretty hard. Even the mild stuff hits you hard now. Whatever. And they're thinking, I don't know why I'm sick. Seriously, that's what they say. I don't know why I'm sick all the time. It's like, yeah, it's baffling. All right, last one before we go to Clown World. We got 5 Clown Worlds. I think I have time to read the emails. Yeah, we'll see. Hydia Broadbent. She was an AIDS activist, dies at the age of 39. Now, she was notable because she was a kid when she first got AIDS years ago. And now she's 39. Well, she was 39. And something hit her recently. It's like, wow, you survived with AIDS for years and years, and then something turbocharged hit you. And now you're done. So again, I thought that was a little ironic because again, a lot of people that are catching, it's so weird, Karen, because we talked about this term. It's like they're catching an autoimmune disorder. Well, wait, isn't that AIDS? So
that's literally what AIDS stands for.
Yeah, exactly. So why, but nobody calls it AIDS anymore. So apparently 20 years ago or back in the day, right, it was AIDS. Now it's not AIDS anymore. It's autoimmune disorder.
But they still use AIDS.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between AIDS and an autoimmune disorder? What's the difference?
I don't think there's any difference.
There is none. That's why it's complete bullshit.
Yep.
I'm just so tired of all the bullshit.
I know. I know. All right, we got Clown Worlds, and then I got a couple emails. Okay, first Clown World. Enjoying this one. This was a fun story. You guys know this one very well. Absurdly Woke. Google's AI chatbot, I think otherwise known as Gemini, spits out diverse images of founding fathers, popes, and Vikings. Yes, absolutely. You scroll down. Hey, show me founding fathers. And okay, there's a black guy sitting at the founding fathers table. Okay, fine. But then it's show me a picture of George Washington. Well, George Washington.
Did it really spit these out?
Yes, it absolutely did.
I saw the joke images on Twitter. I thought people were just embellishing.
No, it wasn't a joke. It was not a joke. Okay, George Washington is now very, very black. Scroll down. Show me the Pope. okay, the Pope apparently is an Indian woman and or a very black guy. And it just goes on from there. You know, like show me Vikings. Vikings apparently were black. You can keep scrolling down. Show me hockey players. They'll show like Asian female hockey players and so on. I mean, it's bad. It's super, super bad. And people just went freaking nuts. And you know how it goes, right? People are like, oh, there may be a way to break this. Just keep scrolling down. Of course, there's the Chinese woman that's playing hockey for the NHL. Okay, it got so bad that they had to shut it down because it was bad. So the next one down there, the next story from Newsmax, which is the headline. Oh, Google.
The girl with the pearl earring, a black girl.
Yeah.
It is so funny.
Google parent company Alphabet loses $70 billion in value after woke AI snafu. Yeah. Because it's like, okay, this was supposed to be one of your big things, right? Again, AI, I'm trying to stress this to people. AI is not self-aware. It is not intuitive. It does only what you tell it to do. So whoever programmed Gemini was heavily woke. And so remember, they have to say, they're the ones that has to run the code that says, okay, show me, when they do search, when they do artist renderings, show me whatever it is. And somebody put, oh, I want to make 20% of the people, the founding fathers, make them black. It's like, okay, but really, should you put that in there? Or are you just taking artistic license? Whatever. All God's children. I'm not judging, but yeah. So Blue Team obviously coded all of chat, and it didn't go well. So yeah, terrible. Have fun with that though. There's plenty of images out there. By the time they pulled it, the internet was flooded. I mean, there's so many people that are doing searches for stuff, and they pulled it because they knew it was just going to get worse. And so there you go. Next one down. FoxNews.com. WWE star Austin Theory has heated spat with newspaper editor after the newspaper editor called pro wrestling fake. That's a Captain Obvious thing of the week, which is, as you guys know, WWE is scripted, has always been scripted. It's always going to be scripted. All wrestling has ever been. My bigger point here is of course he's going to argue with him. What do you think he's going to do? He's going to say, well, yeah, you caught me. You're right. They're by contract, they are not allowed to say that it's fake in any way. They'll just straight up lose their job. Same thing goes with any sport that's tied to money, which is why I've said many times, what's the difference between WWE and the NFL? Well, the NFL is a bigger fan base. That's it. Once you get to a certain level, you want to control. You want to give the people what they want. Therefore, you change the outcomes you maximize your profits and give the people what they want. More fans equals more money. Doesn't matter what the best team is. Doesn't matter. You want to make money? That's what you do. NBA the same way. Baseball, not as easy. Fights, you can fix any fight you want. Doesn't matter if it's boxing. Doesn't matter if it's WWE. Doesn't matter if it's mixed martial arts. Does not matter. You can fix any fight you want because you can't prove that the guy threw the fight. Oh, he's just having an off night. Really? Because he crushed a guy earlier. This week, he's looking like a chump. Okay, next one down. Let's see, RT.com. We'll do the emails after the break. Instagram. Okay, I love this one. Instagram's OnlyFans breastfeeding loophole exposed. Okay, increasing number of influencers are bypassing Meta's nudity display restriction policy to promote adult content. Okay, so somebody looked in the fine print and they figured out if you label your video and classify it as breastfeeding or breastfeeding training, meaning you don't even have to have a real baby. You can use a pretend baby. You can do whatever you want, and it won't be considered explicit. And so while Meta, the owner of Instagram and Facebook, does not allow explicit content or nudity on its platforms, the community guidelines make an exception for images and videos related to breastfeeding, birth giving, and after-birth moments, health-related situations like post-mastectomy, blah, blah, blah. However, Instagram users have reported a recent flux of disturbing content being served up on their feeds, including underage girls, fetish videos, and OnlyFans models promoting
I was going to say, how are people not going to use this to put pedophilia on Instagram?
Damn straight. Well, while breastfeeding would appear to be toy babies, God, I love human beings sometimes. They will find the weakness in any system and they will exploit it. And yeah, you scroll down and yeah, there's an obvious OnlyFans model that is, showing her breasts with a fake baby. And so there you go. Good stuff, right? You wonder why the apocalypse will happen. You wonder why Noah built the ark? Well, things like this.
Oh, or why God flooded the world.
There you go. Oh yeah. Yeah, this place. Hey, look, you can say what you want that the reset is a bad thing. I'm not really going to agree with you. Okay, last but not least, we're going to go to king5.com, which is a local news channel up in Seattle. And I want to rattle this off for you really quick, and then we'll go to break. Wendy's wants to roll out surge pricing similar to Uber or Lyft. Okay, so what they're going to do is they're going to do digital menu boards with menu prices that can change on the fly that'll allow the fast food chains to change prices based on demand. So during
they want a price gouge.
Yeah, during rush hour, your sandwich is gonna go up in prices. And if it's off hours, it'll go down in prices. This is a horrible idea. So it's dynamic pricing, charging how much various items cost based on time of day and demand. And they're saying, oh yeah, we're thinking they're gonna roll this thing out. It's not gonna do it. It's not gonna happen this year. It's probably not gonna happen until next year. And honestly, if social media has anything to do with it, it's not gonna happen because people are gonna push back. You can't treat this like Uber or Lyft, which is or even the power issues in California, because California, they charge your power meter based on time of day. You can't do that to physical things like food. You can't. You treat it no different than the grocery store. If I go in at 11 a.m. and my tuna is $2 a can, and if I go in at 5 p.m. and that tuna is now $2.50 a can, I'm going to freak out.
Well, yeah, I would never go to that. I mean, I don't eat fast food, but I would never go there again. I'd be like, well, you know what, you guys, I'll pay for it this time, but that's going to be the last money you ever get from me.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I would treat it.
With social media has changed a lot of things. We're going to break, but I got to get this out. Social media has changed a lot of things, which is you will know the opinions of your idea real fast. And if you think you're going to roll this out with the people, no, dynamic pricing is not going to work. Will not work. And my prediction is that it's not going to happen because social media, the backlash will be incredible because people will point out the loopholes. It's like, okay, so if I go in at 10:59, they'll work the system. It's like I order my sandwich 5 minutes earlier, it's going to be $1 cheaper. Yeah. Exactly. No, they're not going to do it. To be like, screw that. And again, what if you're in line? What if you're in line and all of a sudden it changes? The guy in front of you is ordering a whole bunch of things to go.
Right? I would be pissed.
Yeah, it's basically, again, I was from that industry. It's time clock software. The exploits would be amazing. No, Wendy's, nice try. And by the way, you're spending $20 million to research this program. Yeah, that's $20 million burned. So good luck with that. Okay, we're going to go to break. When we come back, we will take your phone calls, but I do want to read those emails when we come back. So, Karen, the music.
Hey, are you a foodie? Are you looking for the best salsas and hot sauce to serve at your next Mexican cultural appropriation party? A salsa that will knock your guests flat on their rear ends? Or maybe you're just looking for that authentic roasted chili flavor. Imperio Salsa is small batch and handcrafted with choice non-GMO ingredients. It is legit my favorite salsa ever. Support your local flat earther and go to imperiosalsa.com and order some of the best salsa on the plane. Shipping is included on all USA orders, and oh, look at this. The more you order, the more you save. They have some of the best seasonings that go great on your homemade guacamoles and quesadillas, or whatever you like. They are the bomb. Season your meat with it. Season everything with it. Go get it. Keep it flat. Eat my salsa.
Bohemian, I drink the juice, the chocolate milk, the holy cow. I wear the sneaks, tip of the beak, I'm the 33.
Welcome back to Strange World, part 3 of 4. It's you, me, the always lovely Karen B. And yeah, Peanut, smoking like he does. That's what he does. Yeah, we got a couple of emails I wanted to rattle off real quick because they are related to some of the headlines. One was one of our people was talking about school closures during the eclipse. So real quick, Mark, I'm a huge fan, love Strange World and your Karen B's banter. Yeah. I live in Eastern Ontario, about 26 kilometers west of Kingston. Yes, it's true. They are closing the schools on April 8th due to the eclipse, as we are in the direct path of totality. As some of you may know, or if you've heard the rumors, if you're in totality, everything in that shadow will be incinerated. I have booked a vacation for that day, so I can provide childcare for my 2 7-year-old grandsons. We are going to make a day of it. The time of totality for us is roughly about 3:20 p.m., right at the time of school dismissal and bus time. Can you imagine the pandemonium? Oh, can you imagine the pandemonium trying to get the kids on the buses when the sky is going dark? Well, of course. They can be running, there's spaceships and abductions.
You know what? That could be dangerous if everybody's looking up and nobody's paying attention to where they're going and stuff.
That's true.
That's a legitimate concern, I feel.
I mean, plus you're gonna, every once in a while you get like a creative kid. It's like, oh, it's a sign. I must sacrifice people to my God. And then they just start grabbing kids and the running and the screaming.
Well, now you know why I haven't announced where I'll be during the eclipse.
There you go. So yeah, So thank you for that. So there you go. And then she actually attached the snippet from the school board. That makes sense. Because yeah, if it is 320, now that doesn't make sense with like Texas or some of the others. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of schools, but yes, 320 in their case, that does make some sense. So thank you, Holly. Appreciate that. The other one was, something we haven't really talked about at the Flat Earth, but I want to bring this up really fast, which is the time zone issue, which, as you know, if it was flat and you had to turn this thing into a globe, like say it started as a flat map, right? And then you had to turn into a globe, the time zone is going to be screwed up because remember, you're pushing it down from the center. So the time zones in the top are going to be screwed up and the time zones potentially in the lower section or the outer rim are going to be screwed up. We won't go into the, what happens in the Bering Strait where it jumps 3 hours for no apparent reason. But I want to mention because people have said, it's like, wow, isn't it interesting that even though Australia and the United States sit at corresponding latitudes, roughly, north and south, America has 4 time zones and Australia has 2. And this is something that somebody from down there actually clarified. I want to talk about this real quick. Time zones came up. You mentioned only 2 time zones in Australia. He goes, actually, there's 3, Eastern, Central, and Western. Nevertheless, time zones are just conventional and appointed by governments and don't correspond to the sun, constantly moving. And I guess that's why the ones in the north are all over the place, just for the convenience and to dodge lines running across regions so that folks still can relate for commerce. He goes, but get this. He goes, Australian time zones, we only have 3 in the winter, but we have 5 in the summer. Central is half an hour behind East. Western is 2 hours behind the East. Then in summer, daylight savings kicks in, but only in 4 out of the 7 states. So that time that becomes 5 time zones. And then he listed all them out. He's going, weird, huh? It's like, yeah, he's from Melbourne. I've heard this. And it's like, it's a weird thing. But again, most people don't get it because they don't understand what that means because the average person doesn't even know how many time zones are in America. You didn't know that either, I'm guessing from your reaction.
I didn't know that they changed from like 3 to 5 time zones. I knew they had like half an hour breaks and stuff.
Well, I mean, there's 2 hour breaks and 1 half-hour break for no apparent reason other than it's a geographic thing where it has nothing to do with the sun. And Whitsitt was pointing that out. He's going, yeah, there's this 30-minute break, but I didn't get this thing that during daylight savings, it stretches out to 5.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. And
but if you think about it, it kind of makes sense on a flat Earth where the outer circle is wider than the inner circle.
Yep, absolutely does, which is why the time now that doesn't mean that Australia is bigger, but it means it would have less time zones because of how it's laid out. And again, you want to look up some weird stuff, look up where in the Bering Strait, where's that weird time zone where it jumps 3 hours in the Bering, which is what people have been recently talking about. That's what you would predict because it would be condensed but to hide it. And again, you luck out when you're with the map because most of the population is in the inner circle and the outer circle has these weird dead zones where you can just fudge numbers and no one cares because there's nobody there. And Australia is one of them. So thank you for that. That's from Mark Schultz in Melbourne.
And Australia is not that populated for the size of land mass.
Right.
There.
Right.
It's
I'll forward you the email because he breaks it down. He talks about, okay, here's East Queensland, here's Central Northern Territory, and here's Western. And then in the summer, it doesn't make any sense. It's like, well, we don't run into that here. Ours are very specific. Very, very specific. So yeah, good for you, man. So good stuff. Okay, let's pick up some phone calls.
Oh, by the way, Mark,
what?
I know it wasn't in our list of headlines, but did you hear that another Rothschild died?
I did hear that. He was
Jacob
80...
Rothschild.
Yeah, 80 something.
Creepy one. Mr. Burns. The one who looked like Mr. Burns. Yeah, he died.
Yeah, one of the creepy ones. Probably how they modeled Mr. Burns.
11:11. Oh, not yet. It's 11:10. Lowry, you're early.
Is he rushing or is he dragging? Oh, there's a movie reference for you. Is he rushing or is he dragging? If any of you guys have never seen, oh crap. What's the movie called? The drummer movie. Look in chat.
The drummer movie.
The drummer movie where J.K. Simmons was the band coach, sadistic band coach.
Don't know.
Ah.
Now it's 11:11.
Peanut, look that up. It's a like a jazz name. J.K. Simmons, drummer movie. He won an Academy Award for it. playing the sadistic band coach.
I don't know.
He'll tell me. Hang on. Yeah, Whiplash. There you go. Whiplash. You guys never seen Whiplash? Amazing movie. Absolutely a dark horse movie. But if you're a J.K. Simmons fan, definitely watch it. He
Whiplash.
absolutely.
Chat is saying Whiplash.
Yeah, Whiplash.
Is that it?
Yep. Whiplash is an amazing movie. He did a wonderful job in that. Okay, let's pick up some phone calls. Okay, we're going to start with 505 in New Mexico because, hey, you know what? We needed more land. They had it. And we got it for free. What's happening?
Yeah, they're not getting it back either, man.
Hell no.
Wow.
Come and get it.
No way. No way, no how.
No.
Nope. Come and get it. Absolutely. It's going to be quite a challenge for them, especially at this point.
Right.
Mark, Karen, maybe the reason for that multiple time zones down there, the guy who probably came up with that is he's just all the blood's rushing to his head because he's upside down, completely upside down on his globe.
Oh, I absolutely think that he must be mistaken. That's fake news. It's absolutely. It can't be. It can't be. There can't be. The time zones have to be the same in Australia as they are in the United States. And you know what? He's just wrong. They have to be. It's like, except that they're not. And they change on top of it. They don't change by a little bit. They change by a lot. So why would this happen? I don't know. I'm baffled.
Baffled.
Yeah, I think they're just throwing anything out there. It's just for the fun of it. I would if I could. It's just fun. So, Mark, I know you're going to Utah this weekend, and I saw a story today that reminded me that you were going, and I guess this private Verida space capsule landed in Utah. I didn't know that was a thing now. Some of these private space companies, fake space companies, are landing in northern Utah. So you're going to be, I guess this thing landed last Wednesday, Utah Test and Training Range near Dugway. It's right west of Salt Lake City. So I don't know, maybe you'll get a chance to see it. This article went on to say that this was kind of interesting. They quoted this. The reason why they like this area is it's a flat recovery area, free from hills and terrain features that would prevent an undamaged recovery. And I found a few pics of it, but they were mainly on the ground with a parachute, and I guess they could have just dropped it from above. And it had some pretty good scorch marks on it, though. But the good news is they were able to bring some crystals of an antiviral drug that they were grown in orbit. So I guess gravity is ideal for creating this poisonous pharmaceutical drugs. I won't say the drug that they're testing, but just be aware, kids out there. Yeah, don't be taking this stuff. Yeah, I guess they're starting to use this stuff for pharmaceutical pushing. I didn't see the connect right away, but yeah.
All right then.
Yeah, yeah. And then
Well,
there
it's
another
not
article.
unusual for them to use one lie to back up another, though. That happens all the time. They're always using one lie to back up another lie. And
Right.
they're all woven together.
True.
Yeah, it's a great way to start pushing more drugs and pushing your cost up. Because, by the way, we have to launch it into space first to get it tested. Yeah.
Yeah, there's that.
And then,
Drug
I was the eclipse story that you guys were talking about earlier. I saw something earlier today on the sunspot. I guess we missed it over the weekend, or I did anyway. They were talking about how you could take your eclipse glasses and go out and look at this the biggest sunspot. And I only saw the article today, but I've had fun with those eclipse glasses, by the way. They are kind of cool for looking at the sun. But the article went on at the end to reinforce, be careful. Don't look at this eclipse even in total totality. without your glasses on. So I don't know. It just makes me think of what you guys were reading earlier, and just some of these articles. I think they want to discourage you from going to the zone and looking at the sun turning off.
They want you to be
So,
afraid of the sun. The sun's trying to kill you. Space is always trying to kill you. So this is just another way for them to back up that whole space wants to kill you. Don't even look at the sun.
Well,
It's stupid because we all looked at the last eclipse 2017. A bunch of us looked at I looked at the eclipse. I didn't even put on eclipse glasses. I did once just to see what the difference was, but most of the time I didn't even put on eclipse glasses. I was looking right at it the whole time. My eyes are fine, by the way.
Karen,
I also did a whole stream where I showed that my vision actually improved when I was doing regular sun gazing. I brought out all my driver's licenses where since I was 16 years old, I had to have corrective lenses on my license because I needed glasses until I started sun gazing, and I went and I got my most recent driver's license, and I passed the vision test without glasses. And as 40s in my 40s, I no longer have corrective lenses needed on my license. Like, that's insane to me. Your vision is supposed to get worse as you get older. And I'm not going to say like I haven't noticed it get worse, but looking at the sun is good for you. And I don't care what they say. You just, as long as you do it at the right times, don't do it at high noon when it's super bright. But like watching the sunrise is good for you. Watching the sunset is good for you. These things are good for you and they do help your vision. Just saying, research sun gazing. Anyway, go on. I'm sorry.
No, absolutely. I totally agree. You know, I got to get back into it, Karen, because what I noticed is it sort of resets your body clock. Like you automatically, I don't know if you noticed this, that you wake up like a few minutes before this. Like, you know, if you could sleep in that late, depending on the time of the year, but have you noticed that? It just sort of seems like you wake up like right with the sun no matter what all the time.
Oh, well,
That's what I noticed.
I get up early all the time now. I am that person. I wake up early. I go to bed early. This is my late night. This is as late as I stay up any night of the week. Like any other night of the week, you will not see me up this late. Even Saturday and Friday night, I'll probably be in bed. This time, Friday night, I will be in bed.
Good. It's way healthier. Kids, listen to Karen.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome.
That's kind of
Absolutely.
a loaded statement there.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Well, I meant it in a good way. Early to bed and early to rise. Yeah, that whole thing is true. I think anyway. You know, one more quick thing I don't know if you guys saw this pic of the SpaceX guys that are apparently scheduled to go to the ISS. But yeah, they had, wow, the goofiest uniforms on. This is the first time I saw these spacesuits, but they're pretty not as cool as Apollo. I'm just partial to Apollo, but yeah, they've really updated what they're styling into space now.
Sure. All right, man. You got any shout outs?
Yeah. Shout out to, we had a great meetup this weekend, and I want to shout out to Jim and Naomi as usual for hosting at their wonderful home. And the few people that were there, shout out to Kevin Cruz, Isaiah, Marty, Alicia, Nicole, Sophia, Monica, Bea, and David, and keep it flat, everybody. And of course, Jan and Dallas. Okay. See you, Mark. See you, Karen.
Bye.
Night.
Have a nice night. The yeah, when I say kids listen to me, it's usually followed by flashing lights and restraining orders and stuff, but whatever. Anyone want to buy a panel van?
I was gonna say it's usually followed by a Molotov cocktail recipe or something.
Yeah, that's a good point, by the way. Yeah, again, I would have been a terrible father. Absolutely terrible. I would have taught kids.
Listen to me. You don't have enough gunpowder in that.
What are you doing? That fuse is all wrong. Give it to me. You're going to blow something up. Okay, let's pick up 646. 646. Hey, man, what's happening?
Hi guys, what are you doing? You guys good?
Yeah, yeah, no complaints. You're going to be at the eclipse.
Happy Black. Maybe I'll be there.
Happy
Maybe.
Black what? Oh, this.
Maybe I'll be looking at it.
What is Happy
Black Astronaut Month.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
elite. That's a
Remember
lead.
Ronald McNair? You remember him? You remember Ronald McNair? Remember that guy?
Vaguely.
Oh my God. Do I have to catch you up on this shit? Ronald McNair, he was a mission specialist. You know, he was one of the guys that blew up on the Challenger.
Oh, that guy. Sure. The
yeah, and like every single person, that whole crew had a twin.
Yeah.
They all had twins, all of them. But I just want to talk about Black Astronaut Month, like just because of Ronald McNair, because like the dude actually ended up with a really good life. He's out in Hawaii, running a liquor store company or something. The last I checked, and I don't know how you go from being a mission specialist, aboard of space, a space rocket to running a liquor store, but like I'm down with it. It's like that. I'm all about like equal everything. It's like I know you were a space traveler, and now you're managing liquor. It's all good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Again, it's weird because
shooting rockets over your head right now.
It's kind of like a sports figure. If you're high profile, you get to move on and stay high profile. Like Scott Kelly, he's now in politics, for example. Scott Kelly, who I don't like,
that guy.
But there's other guys. Most of them you've never heard of. There's. I mean, how many? In the NFL, maybe what 1 or 2% of the people that play. The rest of them, after they're done, next thing you know, they're selling cars at a Ford dealership, right? And shaking hands like, dude, you were totally, wearing their shirt or memorabilia. Yeah, I played 3 seasons with the Steelers. Yeah, pretty cool. They get free drinks at bars.
I know.
But yeah, him running a liquor store.
Up and like you know what?
Go ahead.
No,
you're good.
Okay, so like I was just thinking about I've been around. I live in New York City, so I'm around a lot of black people, and I played football with a lot of black people. But you know what? The one thing that they all have in common, at least as far as I'm concerned, at least 80%. I'm not going to say all of it. 80%. Firstly, fuck water and fuck swimming, and then if you ask a black person to get into a very small compartment, they're going to be like, nah, fuck that shit. No, fuck that shit. I ain't getting close to that shit. And let's just give it up to Ronald E. McNair, who just, gave up his life, even though he's still alive, and got inside of a very small thing and didn't really get inside of a small thing and didn't really fly somewhere.
Yeah.
And he also has a twin. So like, I just want everyone out there in black land to just know that we're looking after you guys. And we know that like, Ronald McNair really stood up for your position on this, because he didn't get inside of that thing. He didn't. And he's still alive. And it's the smartest thing he ever did.
Yeah. He represented. Absolutely.
I mean, that's where I'm coming from.
All right.
He represented it. You know what? And he was like, because I would have been the same thing. I was like, you're going to put me inside of that motherfucking thing? No way. I'm not getting inside of that thing. There's not enough room for anyone in there to begin with. And like, as far as I'm concerned, Ronald McNair, he's an American hero.
Nice. Yeah. That's why I'm always impressed, by the way, with like Master Gunner, and the tankers, because they have to get into cramped spaces and stay in there and not go nuts. And I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. Not if it got hot. If it was cold, if the AC was on, I could pull it off. As long as it was cold.
Yeah, dude, I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I got a lot.
Take in the desert. I'm sure it was nice and breezy.
Nobody wants to get in that funk-inspired little shithole, which is like a toilet, which is like basically it's a tank, but it's a toilet, right? So you're like in a toilet, and like everybody in there is just doing the foulest things you've ever heard. So you don't really want to go through that shit, right? Yeah. So like again, we went through this last week. I don't want to go through this whole thing again because we already did the whole toilet analysis. Thing that goes into space. We have to do that. But like, yeah, but even if it goes for that on space, on land, like in a tank across land, it's kind of the same thing. It's like you got 5 guys in there, and they might have had chili for lunch or whatever, and they're all going to have some issues with each other. Probably going to punch each other because they're like, dude, did you eat that? And now we're going to do this, and now we have to shoot people, And like we got McNair, we're going to go. It's Black Space Month of February, and not only did he like die but survive, but also his twin died and survived. So like he won the battle. And like, I want him, if he's hearing this, like, Ronald, if you're hearing me out here right now, not only did you win by proving that you didn't have to actually get in a space capsule, and also you also proved to us all that you didn't die on a thing that blew up that nobody died on. I'm so glad that you just represented, you know, Black Astronaut America so much. And I love you so much for that, because you actually did show up. And now you're managing something in Hawaii, and you didn't go to space, and we all know that you didn't go to space, but like, it's great that you stood up for your Blackness for February, and that you survived the explosion that was a balloon that had nobody aboard. And we're just so happy that, you know, you did that, and that you got a twin to stand up to you, even though you didn't go to your twin's funeral when that happened. So we're really super happy for you. Happy Black Astronauts Month.
Thank you, Alex. It's so great. And with that, we are going to go.
Okay, goodbye.
We are going to go to break. And we come back, we'll take your phone calls. So, yeah, Karen, the final music. When we come back, we're going to pick up 972 and 859.
All right.
Where is the
Alpha 33, target is on property, approaching food trailer.
Engage Delta 9.
Roger. Alpha 33 descending.
Hey, I know you.
They might be listening.
CIA?
Maybe.
Aliens?
Probably.
Globalists?
Definitely. I may have already said too much.
We have what you need.
Really?
It's flat
I'm listening.
and round
Go on.
and delicious.
Tell me the secret. I see the truth in it.
I thought you might.
This truly is a special place.
Yeah, we like to think so.
Will you be here tomorrow?
We move around quite a bit.
Ah, a mobile command center. A strong strategy. I like where your head's at.
Anything else?
I was never here.
Package intercepted. Copy that, Alpha 33. Come on back, let's eat.
Long live Flat Earth.
Long live Flat Earth!
Welcome back to Strange World Part 4. It's you, me, the always wonderful Karen V. How you feeling, by the way? Feeling better?
I am feeling better.
Good.
Why? Because I'm drinking vodka. Why is it that when you're sick, vodka can make you feel better?
Boy, you got me, Karen.
The Russians were right.
It's mystery. I'm baffled.
Might as well drink vodka.
Reminds me of that model story we ran years ago. So you know how I lost weight? Rice crackers and cocaine. Lots of cocaine. It's like, oh God. Yeah, that makes sense. Really? And you stayed thin? Who knew? What do you mean I can't buy it in a drugstore anymore? Because we used to. Nobody's old enough to remember it, but that was something we did back in the day. Like some aspirin and a couple of those licorice sticks and yeah, that bottle of cocaine.
A bottle of cocaine.
Well, because they'd probably come in like a brown glass little bottle, the old school brown bottle. And so what do they call them? Laudanum. It's morphine.
The laudanum.
Yeah, the laudanum.
Is that cocaine?
No, I think that's opium based.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's an opiate because I think heroin addicts use that.
What do you mean? What do I want to chase it with? I don't know, absinthe or something. Okay, let's go to 972 out in possibly Texas. Now, 972, you emailed me before the show, and if I'm not mistaken, you had a debate recently with a Glober.
Yep. None other than Kent Hovind. It was concerning the ice canopy theory. He opened the door to debate that subject, and right there, I saw where I could put my foot into the door, and right now, as far as I know, I'm the first flat earther to ever debate Kent Hovind. It was not a flat earth debate, but we did dive into some topics concerning flat earth, but mostly the ice canopy theory. Have you ever heard of the ice canopy theory?
Ice canopy?
So
is that related? Is this related to like the vapor canopy thing?
Yes, it's also vapor canopy.
Okay.
So whenever it gets on the sunny side, it would heat up and become vapor, and then on the dark side it could be ice. But anyways, I learned a couple of things about air pressure, and it's basically the same problem that the astronaut suit have in your Flat Earth Clues Part 13. There's the space has zero air pressure, so there's nothing to keep the ice canopy and the atmosphere on the Earth from expanding out into space because of Boyle's gas laws.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, the ice canopy is what Kent Hovind, he teaches that the Earth used to have this ice canopy around it, and that's the reason that we used to have giants, and we used to have, and everybody used to live 1,000 years, and and that's the reason that we find amber bubbles in amber that have a higher air pressure, and giant insects and stuff like that.
Wow.
And so the ice canopy is supposed to. Go ahead.
So Kent Hovind thinks the ice vapor canopy was a real thing? He's in favor of this, or what?
Yes, he's in favor of it. It's what made it possible for all the dinosaurs to get as big as they were, and and for humans to grow to be giants and giant insects and stuff like that.
Wow.
Okay. Well, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah, he literally. Oh, go ahead.
Do you know what the beginning where the vapor canopy theory came from? Did you ever look into that?
Yeah. Walt Brown, and he came up with it, and then another creationist from the museum, or it's the creation. It's not the Creation Evidences Museum, but it's the it's the Institute for Creation Research. It was the head guy over the Institute for Creation Research. I can't think of his name right now. But he theorized that there was an ice canopy or a vapor canopy around the earth before Noah's flood. And then, right whenever Noah's flood happened, all the air expanded out to where it is today at 62 miles, high, being the Kármán line, and it stopped right there, because of quote unquote gravity. So
it's so funny.
So, anyways, it's like why would it stop at 62 miles?
Right.
Boyle's gas laws dictate. I mean, the second law of thermodynamics, Boyle's gas laws dictate that air pressure it like spreads out to fill a container.
Yeah.
And if there is a vacuum, the air pressure is going to
it'll equalize, right?
Very fast. Yeah, it's going to very fast fill the void.
Yep.
Okay, fill the container. Okay?
Instantly, it's going to fill.
And that's right. That's right. Yeah. So anyways, whenever the ice canopy, he says it got destroyed during Noah's flood, and but it would have never made it. God would have assuming that God created the ice canopy and he didn't do any more miracles, the ice canopy would have had the same problem as the space as astronaut suits in space, as proposed in Flat Earth Clues Part 13.
Yep.
Okay, and the ice canopy would have just popped like a balloon. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's important, in my mind, it's important that people know about this, and because it could not sustain itself. It just wouldn't. God would create it, and then it would just instantly pop because there's zero air pressure on the outside of it to keep it from popping.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of Kent Hovind's better arguments for the ice canopy, which isn't even a better argument because he's not thinking, but one of his better arguments for the ice canopy is inflatable buildings. You've heard of that, right? They inflate the buildings, and those operate just fine, and some of them are pretty thin. Okay, the thing is those inflatable buildings are made here on the surface of the Earth, where you've got air pressure inside the building, and you've got air pressure outside the building, and so they can inflate to whatever size they're supposed to be and hold their structure. The reason that they don't continue to pop like a balloon, think of a hot air balloon, not a hot air balloon, a weather balloon. Okay, you send up a weather balloon way up into the atmosphere, and eventually the weather balloon pops. It's because there's zero air pressure outside of the weather balloon.
Well,
so that's the same thing would happen.
Not zero, but it's low pressure, right? It's really low
pressure.
pressure outside of the air balloon, so then eventually they pop and come back
super
down.
low pressure, right?
Sure.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yep. That was a pretty intense debate that we had, and and it was historic. Kent Hovind's first debate with a flat earther. You go check it out.
I don't know if he's never talked to a
YouTube
flat
channel,
earther.
Lies in the Textbooks. What's that?
So I'm sorry. What? Okay, real quick. Where can we find this?
Yeah, it's on my YouTube channel, Lies in the Textbooks.
Live in the Textbooks.
It's the most recent video that I've uploaded. And also you can find it on Kent Hovind's channel, Genesis Baptist Church, but you're going you might be sifting through a bunch of videos just to find it. But my video, the debate is on my channel, Lies in the Textbooks, my YouTube channel, Lies in the Textbooks.
Yeah.
And it's the most recent upload.
And just so you know, is that life or live?
Lies,
Lies.
Lies.
Ah, lies. Got it. Lies in the textbook.
Right. Yeah, Kent Hovind's fourth part of his seminar is called Lies in the Textbooks. So I named my channel after his fourth part of his seminar.
Okay. Cool. I will check it out. That's awesome.
But yeah, what I was asking about before, like the original thought of the vapor canopy, the ice canopy, that whole thing, the theory behind it that as far as I can see anyway, is that a long time ago, many billions of years ago, Earth had rings just like Saturn, and they were made of ice. And then one day randomly, the ice rings decided to fall to Earth and created a vapor canopy.
Right. Yeah, that's impossible because of Boyle's gas laws. One of the things that they like to say is that stars form in gas clouds way out. The nebulas, stars form in those nebulas, and the gases congeal and they press together to form a star. Baby stars. But that's impossible because of Boyle's gas laws. Boyle's gas laws dictates that the gases expand violently, so so there it is. Kent Hovind's ice canopy theory, the water vapor thing, debunked.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, man. Appreciate that. Got to let you go because we got to finish up the show here in a little bit. But thank you, and I sent you an email. So
okay, cool.
Shoot me that link when you get a chance, okay?
Oh, I sure will.
All right.
Okay, talk to you later, Karen. See you later, Mark.
Later.
Bye.
Shout out to Jim.
Oh, I think he was going to say Jan and Dallas.
Probably.
I'm hoping he was. Where'd we leave off? Peanut 859? Yeah? 859. We're going to try 859. 859. What's happening?
Shoot me that link when you get a chance.
Go turn it down.
Mute
Pick
your
up.
watch page.
5 seconds. 4.
You're more
3,
generous than me, Mark.
2, 1. Yep, we tried.
You get
Let's do
way more time than I do.
3, 1. 3, 1, 9.
I'm like, I can hear myself.
I know. And by the way, aren't the old problems the ones that are, the problems in radio since radio was invented, right? As soon as the first call-in show, it's like, turn your radio down. What? You can pick it up, right away. It's like, no, same rules still apply. Let's do 319. 319. You're on.
Hey, Karen. Hey, Mark.
Hey.
Hey.
I just wanted to come up. I hear a lot. I float around on TikTok in the lives chatting, and a lot of people try to argue about the Coriolis effect affects the water going down sinks and tubs and stuff in certain directions, north or south.
Right.
And I don't know if it was a slip or if they were purposely putting out there, but my father had me distracted with the wrestling event down in Perth, Australia this last weekend.
Yeah.
And the commentator who was commentating whatever, he talked specifically about it. He's like, those people that talk about water going down backwards in Australia, no, that's a lie.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's such a great persistent myth that people have followed it over the years. Because again, how can you test it? If you're living in the United States or you're living in Australia, the chances of you going to one of those two places is rare. And even if you did,
right.
So what I try to tell people I'm sorry, was it your father or father-in-law that had distracted you?
The father.
Okay. So the thing I refer to people, and it's the only time I do this, is the huge YouTube channel called Smarter Every Day, who was a big space proponent, but he did this wonderful video some years ago because he had heard of this myth. And he had a friend in Australia, and they set up 2 kids' wading pools and filled it up to the top and let the water sit with a center drain plug. And they pulled the drugs, they made sure the water was perfectly calm, and they drained them simultaneously and filmed it simultaneously and put food coloring drops in the water so they could see what the water was going to do. And they said the turn was so gradual it might as well not even exist at all. In fact, he said at the end, it's like, look, it's a myth. It absolutely is not happening. So when you see the stories of people at the equator, and it's a great tourist trap, I get it. It's a good con because people at the equator, you know, the in a little tourist town on the equator line, they'll be like, look, I step 6 feet this way, it goes this way really fast. I go 6 feet that way, it goes that way really fast. Like, no, it's just the way the water fills into whatever.
There's a video you can watch of those people on the equator showing like the water going down the drain different. But if you watch closely, when they pour the water in the receptacle, they're doing it a different way each time. They're like, look, it goes this way and we go that way. And then on the other side, it goes this way. But they're just pouring the water in a different direction.
Yeah, it's a great con.
It's a great sleight of hand.
Oh, absolutely.
And again, Smarter Every Day spent a lot of time and, you know, significant amount of money to pull this thing off. And at the end, you know, he's like, nope, I don't see it. And if it's going to happen, it's going to happen where I did it. And he did a very great scientific breakdown. Now, that's the only credit I'm going to give him because he's a huge NASA fan and he believes that the entire space program is absolutely real. But when it came to that, it wasn't, which I thought was interesting. It's like, okay, so he didn't make the connection, obviously. That's how it works.
Yeah, to be honest, like I've done it in my own kitchen sink. I've moved where the water comes in at, and yeah, you can make the water go in different directions just by how the water goes in.
Exactly.
I think what happens is the myth makes people think that the water will correct clockwise or counterclockwise. It doesn't matter how you pour it in the sink. They don't even try it themselves. It's going to go clockwise or counterclockwise. And it's like, no, that's not it at all. The water will go in however the direction that it's funneling.
Yeah.
So, but again, it's a great myth, very persistent, has lasted a long time, ever since the toilet was invented.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny that, yeah, either it was a slip or they're purposely telling everybody, no, that's not true.
Yep.
Because I feel a lot of people are still watching wrestling. They still got a lot of eyes on it.
Entertainment. It's
Absolutely.
you know, I was watching something. I was watching something a couple days ago where some guy explained it actually pretty well. He was a guy that wrote books on how most sports, when it gets to a certain level of money, are rigged. And he goes, it's the hero's journey. I mean, think about this. He goes, you go to a hero movie, whatever it is, Superman, for example, you know, Superman's going to win in the end, right? You're not going to walk out of the movie. It's like, oh, Superman's dead, except for, you know, recently. And it's like, but it's not a question of if he's going to win. It's like, how is he going to complete the journey, the struggle? And so I think subliminally, that's what happens with wrestling. Of course, your favorite wrestler, you don't know how it's necessarily going to go. Most of the time, he's going to win. I mean, there might be a couple wrinkles there, but you're not there for that. You're there for the theater of it, the spectacle of it. I mean, come on, all the WrestleManias.
Oh, absolutely.
Since the 80s, you know, that went on you knew it was going to be a showstopper. It was going to be bread and circus. But at the same time, I get it. I get it. So I don't bother telling people that wrestling's fake because I think nowadays most of the people go, they don't care. They just don't care. And so, all right.
Right. Yeah. I think a lot of people are just there for the entertainment.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right, can you guys confirm for me that flatearthfestivals.com is where we go for meetups?
Yeah, that's my website, flatearthfestivals.com, and in the menu, the menu, there's a Flat Earth friendly meetups at the top there, and you just go over there and click on that, and then I just update it as people send me meetups. But you also should check Mark's channel because sometimes people send stuff to Mark and they don't send it to me.
Yeah,
and vice versa.
Yeah.
Maybe we should set up like a
All right,
meetup
much
website
appreciated.
or a meetup email that we both have access to, so like we both get it at the same time all the time.
Or I could just, now that you've told me, I could just forward the ones that I get to you.
Yeah, or do that.
I'll
Or
just do
something
that.
so we can.
I'll make sure you get it, because when I get it, you're absolutely right. You'd have to check my channel and crap like that. So no, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
It'll totally work. Anything else before I let you go? Because I got to pick up at least one more before we shut this sucker
No,
down.
all good. I appreciate it. Y'all
All right.
have a great one.
All right.
Right.
See ya.
Night.
Bye. All right. All right. 845. Sorry. I was doing voiceover work for a video game this morning. So I was trying to be professional.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, little thing. Well, hopefully it'll turn into something. We'll see.
Fun.
Be kind of fun. All right. Start spreading the news. Shut up. I'm leaving today. Stop laughing. I want to be a part of it.
New York, New York, with my vagabond shoes.
Longing.
I was just clearing
Yeah,
my
I know. I'm not supposed to cough in front of the microphone.
That's awesome.
I apologize. Karen was good not to hack up something. She turned away from the microphone. I've got mine sitting in front of my face. I'm just used to holding it.
That's all right. You are so professional. It's okay. Every now and then you can let stuff go. Okay.
Well, hopefully I don't catch
You got extra credit.
Hey, at least I don't eat anymore before a show. Some years ago, I ate spicy. I would eat spicy foods before a show, and people would call me out on it. It's like, dude, no spicy food.
That's always good, right?
What, were you farting and people could
No,
hear it?
no. It'd be one of those things where. Yes, that's what I was doing, Karen. I was farting.
That's what in my mind. That's what I'm thinking is like.
No. Little burps that'll throw your speech pattern off. One of those things, and people will notice. There's some people that listen with headphones, and they're really picky. The internet misses nothing, and they'll be like, "No, I know." In fact, they were almost calling me out. It's like, what? It's like this. Did you eat this, and this before the show? It's like, wow, I did actually. It's like, how'd you know? Like that's what they have a gift. Anyway, what's up?
There's like so much of that ASMR stuff everywhere. It's like ridiculous. So yeah, I could see people hearing it, especially like Karen's mic is awesome. You can hear when she turns her head in a different direction. It's cool.
Yeah, that would be it for those who are just listening to this. Karen has two mics, so mics plural. She has one to her left and her right.
Yes, I do.
which is set up.
That was awesome. Thank you.
Which is set up very well.
If you could finish with a blah blah blah, that would be fantastic.
Yes, Karen's special. I have the one mic, but Karen's all set up for clicky click ASMR stuff that she never sends.
I never even do ASMR. I did it so that I could do weird stuff like that, and then I never do it. I just use it for regular streaming.
Yeah. That's because you have a serious boyfriend and you don't have to torture men anymore.
Right.
Well, whatever.
Excuse me.
All right, Zula, what do you got? We're gonna wrap up the show here pretty soon. So what do you got?
Not too much. I was interesting that Lowry, I don't know what the fuck it is that dude's connected to me. He always brings up shit that I'm gonna bring up. I was gonna ask you, how many black astronauts in total were there, if you know?
I know there was one. There's only I know there was one female and one male one that I know of. Was there only two?
No. There was at least one in the 80s. How many?
16 out of 360 total astronauts in the system, and none have been to the moon.
Wow.
There's astronaut something Glover who is scheduled to now be on the Artemis 2 thing.
Yep.
So I don't know. They're all so full of shit. It kills me. Kills me.
Artemis 2, which is not
everything.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. It kills me. It's so terrible. Low quality stuff. I mean, I said before to Anthony, I'm like, DITRH can make way better fucking fake videos than these assholes.
Yeah.
So much more believable shit, and they still put it out. It's ridiculous. And people eat it up. eat it up.
Yeah, well, no, not this time. They're not eating it up. And my theory on that is they make it really, really crappy because that way people just wave it off. It's like, it's just a technical nightmare. Therefore, I'm not even going to look at it as serious. If they tried to go for broke and make it as legit as possible, then you got the hardcore nerds coming in and they're going to microscope the hell out of it. And then that's bad. They'll say, this thing is supposed to be really, really super serious, and I'm finding all sorts of mistakes. So I think they're just smudging the hell out of it because it's like, I'm not even going to look at it. I mean, that last shot that was supposedly sent from Odysseus wasn't even legible. It was just static in a wraparound GoPro spherical nightmare. It was awful. So
it's so weird how like we call them out on using fisheye lenses, and then they like double down. They're like, "Oh, you like that fisheye? How about this 360?"
Yeah,
you know?
Good point. Good point.
Take your fisheye. Take it. Take your fisheye. You love your fisheye.
Here's fisheye times 100.
What?
Yeah. It wasn't even remotely close. Yeah, let's take fisheye. Yeah, absolutely. Let's take it to a 360, and
right.
And use one camera. That's the only camera you got. 14-foot craft, one camera. Yeah, no.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, retarded. All just retarded.
Retarded.
Hey, did you know Rampage Jackson, the UFC guy? Did you talk about him before? That he's
he's
I didn't remember that. I saw a thing today, a short, and I'm like, whoa, what the fuck?
Oh yeah. He's in my celebrities playlist on my channel. He's in fact I moved him up. I think he's like second or third on my list. If I'm not mistaken.
He needs to talk to you. I went in and was spamming all his fucking little videos and shit. I'm like, yeah, it is flat. Contact Mark Sargent. It is flat. Talk to Mark Sargent. It's flat. Talk to Mark Sargent. Yeah. So I think he knows about you by now. I don't know if he's gonna call you.
Well,
again, like 40 of his videos.
We don't have. We're not in the cool. Well, at least I'm not. I'm not in the cool kids club.
Oh, I do. Karen, come on.
Oh no, there's the flat Earth community is very cliquey.
That's true.
And if you don't worship the D, you're not in the club. The ED.
Oh, right. Wow, I thought you were going in a completely different direction there.
I just want to say that I think it's hilarious that he has the same initials as erectile dysfunction. Yeah.
Good point. And by the way, Rampage Jackson, Emergency Landings Convinced Me of Flat Earth. That's number one on my mainstream media talks Flat Earth. And that was put out by Flat Earth Banjo, USA, Japan, and Brazil. Yeah, because he mentioned it specifically. That book is actually doing pretty well for Flat Earth Banjo, and I'm happy for him because it's a good thing. It actually drives home I know we got to wrap this up, but it drives home people.
Yep.
Like, look, when things get real, like your plane has to change course for an emergency, they give it away. It's almost like the rules go out the window. It's like, well, we can't let the person die just to keep up the illusion.
Right.
So therefore, we're routing, how we're supposed to.
Suddenly, these planes can go 800 miles an hour.
Yeah.
The what phenomenon? Really? You sure they weren't doing this all the fucking time?
Right. Yeah.
Liars.
Yeah.
They
Again,
lie about every damn thing. It's ludicrous.
they'll pin on that on climate change before it's over. Anyway, Zula, give me
I got a quote.
Give me a quote. We got.
Yep. There is no such thing as race. None. This is just a human race. Scientifically, anthropologically. That was a Toni Morrison. I don't know who that is.
Right.
Or Terry Morrison. I can't read.
Toni Morrison. She was an author. She's a black lady.
Yeah,
she was an author. She wrote a lot of good books.
Yeah, I like that one. Because it isn't. It's like, it's not us against us. It's us against it, the world, whatever, the authority, the badness.
Right.
Like, I want to fight you because you're a different color or you speak differently. No, I want to fight you because you're a dick and you need a throat punch and to be thrown down the stairs.
It's good versus evil.
Right. That's and it's amazing how they put us against each other.
Yep.
Don't forget BST Wednesday. Me and Anthony And trivia this Friday, episode 22, food. Anything food. We'll see.
All right.
Shout out to me, Mark, Karen, Peanut, Ice Queen, Anthony, the chat, all you guys. Love you.
All right. We'll see everybody next week. Same flat time, same flat channel. Say goodnight, Karen.
Good night, Karen.
Say goodnight, Zulu.
Oh my God. Good night, Zulu. I don't think that was that close.
And Peanuts.
I tried.
Another cigarette. All right. That's it. Hot sex. Good night, everybody. Roll music. Let's get the hell out of Dodge.
Hot sex.
So we say we know what we thought we knew. All I thought we threw away was everything. Fought in many wars, danced our lives away. How well we loved is how long our lovers stay. They say that Mars is close as it's ever been, and I'm so tired of being on the ropes again. That's the lovely girl standing on the moon, wishing she had a breath of air. That's the lonely boy standing in the room, solo game musical chairs. They say that Mars is close as it's ever been. Wound up chasing stars all over again. There's words for what you got, what you have, and what you'll ever need. There's love so many nights, so many nights, so many ways to believe.
Mike Jack. Jack Jack.
You realize it's the same link every week. It never changes.
Yeah, I know. I should paste it somewhere, I think.
Hello, Daisy. Hello,